Here we go, boys and girls. Optic Gaming, Team Liquid, Nuke, Map 1. The choice of Liquid, so Optic gonna opt to go on over to the CT side. And things are about to get interesting.
Indeed, because this is a map that Optic would actually ban quite often and never really played, even just with the core of their lineup, let alone with Jason R on the team. Meanwhile, it's true that Liquid haven't played it much since Stanislaw joined, but it's always been a map that they've toyed around with, even going back to when Peacemaker was coaching, as kind of a map to kind of pull out and catch people off guard with at times. So, yeah, really curious to see how it plays out. What have Liquid been cooking up?
We got players outside right now on top of the roofs, lining up some smoke grenades. That's going to be Stanislaw just popping out the windows and making a bit of a ruckus. It's over towards ramp that Nafly makes contact, but Nitro is going to just immediately fall on back. So Team Liquid not looking to rush in just as of yet.
Not quite. You see Hayes and company looking to get in position, and Hut and Stanislaw here at the door. So definitely looking to explode in this upper bomb site here pretty soon after we see a nade or so thrown. But actually, Elise and JDM are creeping around Mini. Interesting.
Hayes is going to get spotted. Tarek, Jason, they combine for 2. Tarek traded back, though, by Elige, and it's Jason from on high to find yet another. Nitro exiting out from Hut will take 1 frag, but Mixwell's had enough. He locks things down, and Optic just shut down that execution.
And just up in the rafters, being able to counter the mini push as well as the Hut door push. So really just no ground gained by Liquid in that situation. Well played there. Almost a team ace. Only Nafly not finding a piece in that round. So well done across the board for Optic, as they will of course be able to buy up now into some ups. And a FAMAS onto Rush. Tech 9 had armor buy here from Liquid with a couple of smokes. So let's see what they can do with this. Maybe just charge the back halls with a couple of smokes. See if they can't plant lower. Seems to be the goal.
Yeah, they're going to head outside. No one's going to make contact till over towards Heaven. They're going to deal some damage. Tarek immediately going to fall down the vents as well. So he's trying to section this off before it even gets started. One player is still towards lobby, though. That's Nitro, who's going to come up behind Tarek, dropping down the vents himself. But no, he changes direction and gets inside of Mini. Curious positioning here. Nafly as well. Trying to cut things off. Tarek's going to get pushed forward. He's going to take this fight and really trying to duel it out. And Stanislaw is going to trade immediately back. So Nafly tucks tail. He's trying to keep himself standing. 4 versus 4 here. And the smoke yet to fade. Liquid just going to slow things down. I mean, look at this positioning from Nitro.
Yeah, he could really be the snake in the grass here. He could be the one that blows this thing up. Rush, though, aware of it seems like, but he's going to get killed nonetheless. Now it's a 4-on-3, and a couple of guns are collected by Team Liquid. And they're actually bringing that bomb back through outside to the lobby area. And Mixwell's really worried about Heaven and Mini because he knows they had outside control, and no one's really catched on to the fact that they've actually fallen all the way back. So I wonder if they just creep out Hut with a bunch of people, and Mixwell just has no idea this happens. He could just get absolutely blindsided right now. He's so focused on Heaven.
He's got Jason to help him out towards the vent, but Liquid, once they return to the lobby, are going to change direction towards ramp. I mean, seeing as Nitro's been holding this position for so long, they know they have full control of it. With 15 seconds on the clock, they're going to head down towards B, and Nafly is going to hear all of this. The rotation comes down from the vents. The bomb drops down, but Nitro's able to keep him alive. It's Jason to peek out wide from the vents. He too toppled over as the bomb now landed, and it's Mixwell from far with the M4, who's the next to die. Team Liquid really cutting it down there on the clock, but they will come out with the force buy victory.
I mean, they really explored the whole map there, didn't they? I mean, the only thing they didn't do was push CT spot. I mean, they were all over the place. And I think Optic, being a man down, really had a hard time trying to figure out the best positioning. Though I will say Naf was actually in the perfect place to perhaps shut that down, kind of hiding out in the corner, but he was cleared out. And I mean, just in the nick of time, Liquid got that bomb down. It almost came down to them not having time to plant, to be quite honest. So that's actually much closer than you think, as Liquid do steal the round away a little bit early here, so it will be 1-1. And now it'll be Optic trying to force buy. Again, scrappy start, fighting for economic control of the game are both these teams. No one wants to concede just yet. That's Liquid again. A little bit of outside control here from Stan and Elige. Mixwell, though, looking to sneak up.
Stanislaw revealing himself, convincing Mixwell to go back down towards the B-bomb site. Optic playing A as well. On top of the Hut is Rush. And Liquid just content with playing the time, slowing things down, and trying to punish any kind of initial aggression. But But Naf, he takes the headshot, and immediately Jason comes in through hut. He takes 2. Stanislaw to rotate in from spawn, however, does pop the head of Rush. 4 players for the CT side, all inside of lobby. But as they fall back to the bomb site, Cleve is going to make contact. He's able to take 1 before Jason finds yet another frag. 3 kills to his name, and 3 players for Optic still standing.
So Optic fighting back here. Let's stay and clutch it up in a 1v3. There is one at here at upper. He has to face. It's going to be Jason. He gets that kill. He's got the bomb, but immediate peek from Naf at Heaven means he has no time to even consider planting. So it is going to be Optic taking a round back. So just 1-for-1 trades right now on rounds. Will Liquid buy up again and keep this going? Indeed they are. Oh boy, it's a slugfest right now. Who's going to give up first on buying? That's going to be the question.
I mean, luckily for Liquid, of course, cheaper off to the T side, but no bomb plant in that previous round either. Great push from Nafly, and honestly, Jason R just smells blood in the water, immediately triggers the push into hut, and we just see Optic swarm that position. So great team-based play in that instance. This time round, Liquid already towards outdoors. Hayes takes the first frag as well. So again, his entering has been on point this weekend. Rush, though, drops a leash from on high. That's the position in Hell being revealed, and Liquid, with outer control, just going to slow things down yet again.
And Nitro again, just trying to creep around. Could get in the back of Heaven here. JDM just kind of holding out in big garages. Nitro, of course, now can just do this all by himself. And you can even pick up an M4 in the process. Get a more powerful rifle. Make sure no one's inside Heaven. Maybe make a play from there afterwards. There are players on the floor in upper, but I don't think there's anyone in the rafters to stop him from peeking from Heaven. So this is a very powerful position he's going to gain here in the 4-on-4. Let's see if they can't still work this upper bomb site.
He's keeping an eye outside. Player towards lobby as well. Stan trying to get into this A site. Looks like it. The bomb's rotation, but Jason's able to stop 1. And it's JDM now to start jumping up as well. Hayes creeping in through mini. Stanislaw trying to find a pinch here from the hut. But up close and personal will be Jason R. JDM rounds the corner. The Galil comes out on top. And as he swaps weapons, Stan takes yet another frag. It's Liquid with a man advantage. But they've burned the clock down to 30 seconds. Nafly's going to start rotating upwards. Rush already ahead of the game. The frag grenade goes out as the bomb goes down. And it's Liquid here with the after plan. JDM spots Rush, though, over the lip of the ledge. Rush decides to head outside and come in from a separate angle. Going to be Hayes to make contact, but Rush going the long way has made enough of an audio cue for Hayes to read this. Not landing the shots, however, certainly won't help, and it's Optic back to the 2v2. Great flash from Naf as he entries in, and it's all just down to Stanislaw. The Molotov's going to burn him off as the time continues to tick. The smoke grenade as well to give some cover. Stan, he knows he has to try and take the fight, and as he goes wide, he takes the burst, but the bomb gets defused, and Optic come out with the round.
That was so close of a round, man. There's so many different points where you felt the advantage went a certain way, and then it would shift, and crazy back and forth there. Stanislaw almost pulled that one off. Great work. I have to say, that was big on Jason R to pick up on Nitro's flank Heaven. That's really what kind of started it off for Optic to give him a real crack at that round, and they do follow it up nicely. So there's going to be 3-1 for Optic. It's Liquid. Still taking a bit of a dabble into a buy. A couple Tectons with no armor on those players. They do have an armor ump on Stanislaw.
Naf's going to hold a bit of an off angle, hoping to find a kill on Liquid's entry attempt. Now, he is very much alone over here. Closest player would be Rush, but Rush's attention still trained towards outside. Liquid just going to fancy their chances by barreling on in, and Hayes immediately executes Mixwell. Nafly toppled as well. Hayes has been hitting shots all weekend long. Rush able to take down 1 player at the very least, but this is Liquid now with control of the B bomb site. You can see how Rush has been convinced to play outside. Tarek tries to pry into the site itself, but Nitro already able to plant that bomb. Jason's coming in from the vent. The frag grenade's going to go out. That kills Hayes, so great utility usage. Elige is locked over towards Toxic, but Rush coming in from ramp has taken yet another. While Liquid have the bomb plant and the retake attempt from Optics inbound, the health is incredibly low. Rush gonna reload the AK, drop Nitro as well, so it's just down to Elige. He's playing inside of Toxic, and they're trying to sniff him out. He opens the doors wide, and that's his demise. Rush with a 4K in the round and a defuse to boot.
Still pretty crazy that Liquid even got that close to winning the round, considering they really didn't have so much into that one. Just, again, really impressive deagle kills from Hayes to give them some headway into the lower bomb site and get that bomb down. But, again, a great response from Optic in the end. as they are piecing together quite the CT side right now. They're up 4-1. They've been kind of, you know, making their way through some of these tense rounds that come down to the wire. But Liquid, with all these bomb plants, will be able to get a nice full buy here. JDM will have his op for the first time in this game. And where does he want to take it? Looks like he's going for a quick peek at Squeaky. See if he can't pick up on someone around the mini garage area or something like that, or even into big, and just scoping out the lower floor as well. Knows there's one top putt from that smoke.
Yeah, the angle gives him away. Nafly takes a couple shots to the chest over here towards ramp, but he's creeping on into the UMP, making contact versus Stan. That's the flank denied. Liquid gonna have themselves the man advantage.
See how they're going to play from it now, as they're getting a lot of map control as well. Nitro being able to get the secrets, and all of a sudden outside is exposed. Back halls is now an issue for for Optic as well. I don't know, Cloud9 apparently still playing. I'm not really sure what's going on there. Mind racing. Sorry about that. We'll get back into it properly, but there's still a lot of time for Liquids. I mean, they still have all their options open to them, really, as now they're working back halls. They could still come up vents and hit upper as well, though, so still not quite sure what they want to do.
Jason creeping towards Hut as Nitro takes the headshot. Mixwell's the next to fall. So two-man advantage here from Liquid, but Rush is able to swing things back, and that cuts the bomb off. Oh, Rush with a 3K spray. Excellent hold of the ramp there. While Liquid have taken the B bomb site, they've got no bomb to plant, and Rush just going to deploy his smoke to try and buy more time. The CT is rotating in as Jason clears out Lobby. Is trying to join forces here with Rush. We do have Liquid trying to contest the bomb. Still enough time, but Rush takes 4 and Rush takes 5. A crucial ace here in a gun round from Liquid.
Talked about how he was quiet yesterday. Not today. Not so far on Nuke, and definitely not in that round. The ace. He was already doing well this half with 7 kills in the 5 rounds played previous. He just adds another 5 to that right there. Well played. Liquid, though, gotta be shaking their heads. They just lost a 5-on-3 with so much map control. Just absolutely blown apart by Rush with a great solo effort. And so Optic keep building the lead here. Liquid now have to just go for the force buy, basically. Armor and pistols. Take quick control of outside. They get all 5 players into the back hall. So they're really looking to hit lower. They have the smoke to plant inside of and hazed. So that's what they're going to go for.
Now, if they do find this bomb plant, the retake could be made difficult. Nafly's going to already be jumping down, so he gets himself tucked away into Toxic, and 2 players from ramp to join forces. So luckily for Optic, they get ahead of the bomb plant, but it is still on the site, and it will nearly go down. Naf, surprise, surprise, opens the doors out wide, and 3 frags go the way of Optic. But it's Nitro's flight with the Deagle that takes 1. Rush falls next, but now Nitro, last man standing, grabs himself a rifle, and Mixwell's had enough. He closes the distance, takes the frag, and Optic will find 6.
Every time you think Liquid might crack one open, Optic have responded to the challenge. Particularly guys like Rush and even Jason R is really getting into this game. I was talking to him yesterday. He is actually really excited for this opportunity to be on Optic and to try to prove himself and prove that he deserves this chance, that he can be a long-term option for them, that he can be kind of that selfless leader. So far, he's having quite the game here on Nuke.
Ever so close was that headshot. Mixwell spotting the target, a sliver of Alicia's head. JDM now with his op trying to make contact back, and meanwhile, Terex crept his way towards Secret. Terex swings wide to take 1, looks to re-engage versus Alicia. Very confident in that play. Now, Mixwell's down to 20 health as well, so he has to be cautious. But Nitro's been able to trick this way into the A site, and Hayes takes 1 headshot as well. So Optic, in a matter of seconds, now down to the 3v5. Nafly's rotation sectioned off thanks to the fire, and the bomb now planted makes this even more difficult. Frag grenade just continuing to chip damage off of Optic. Liquid with a firm control of the bomb plant. 2 players for Optic already trying to retreat towards CT spawn, but Nitro's having none of it. Rattles some rounds downrange, takes the 2 frags, and it's Terex still towards Secret, the last man standing. Round number 2 here for Liquid.
you had to wonder if one of these rounds is eventually going to give, right? Liquid have been on the verge of winning rounds multiple times in this half. They've had a lot of advantages that have kind of been blown out by big solo efforts from Optic members. Particularly Jason R and Rush have been a key part of that, but finally they put one all the way through. They get the good start, they get the advantage, and they capitalize on it. And you note here that even though Optic have won all these rounds in a row, they've had to do a lot of rebuying, right? The last couple of rounds, they only survived with 3. Had a round where they only survived with 1. A couple of rounds in a row there, it came down to 1v1 situations. So money's tight. I mean, they put a buy together here, but it's not the best. And Liquid going to see if they can't punish them with that. Look at this timing on the upper. It's a stack, but they're still just clearing all the way through it.
Derek still at the site, rushes well from on high. He takes 2, but JDM finds the headshot. Napoli rotating inwards, able to keep up the chaos. But it's within the pandemonium that Liquid walk away with the round. I mean, we saw in the previous one, Dust, they crept out halfway through. This round, they just go straight to that sheer aggression.
Yeah, I think they anticipated that Optic weren't really going to have a lot of utility to stop a rush like that. That's the thing. When you know that CTs have money, you know that they're going to have the luxury of having all these incendiaries and smokes. They can, you know, put them down in hut, door, make sure you can't really rush upper without taking a lot of damage or forcing your way through a smoke without vision. But when you know that the CTs don't have that capability, then doing plays like that certainly is an option, and they make it work. And now they have quite a comfortable buy against an Optic that's working with even less this round. But there is a couple of Zeus's in play, and that can always be a little bit tricky if you run into one of those. But other than that, there's not much there for Optic to work with. And so Liquid are rapidly closing the gap on this game in the early stages.
Stanislaus successfully crept his way towards heaven as well. I mean, because of the weaponry here from Optic, they have no chance at contesting outer control. What are Stan and JDM up to? Cheeky little boost here to get themselves into heaven as opposed to walking to the other side of the door. So this could just catch somebody off guard, ensuring that they don't take any chances. Now those 2 Zeus, Mixwell, he's inside of hut, Tarek over towards vent. Very close quarters off of those weapons, but not going to be able to stop Stan from creeping on in. Even further now, as the A bomb site's fallen for completely free.
Yeah, they're going to be able to plant that bomb on the heaven side of those silos and be able to do so with no risk of being pushed down, basically. They're going to be able to cover this with trouble. Nitro going to be cleaning out things over here in the lobby area. Daystar almost clips him, but able to flick over and grab that one, so nothing going to be carried over. No guns going to be salvaged, and this is a clean win for Liquid. That's going to allow them to build up their bank for the rest of the half, and that's going to be great news for them as they will make it 4-6. And now they're starting to piece together a good T side. Now it's starting to get a little bit more scary for Optic. That dominant lead they had going is quickly fading away.
And the economy is certainly not helping them at this point, but also kind of shy of those individual plays in these last few rounds. Liquid seem to have been figuring them out and seem to have a bit more of a read now on the cash flow as well. I mean, again, the aggression out of Squeaky, as you said, not being able to counter by the utility. And even this round, knowing that Optic were down by money, still playing discipline, not deciding to just, you know, go for these all-out rushes, but instead very much taking their time. I mean, I think we see it with the boost towards heaven, just throwing in these little tricks of the trade.
Yeah, again, that's a really subtle thing to do, just to get the boost, even though it's not necessary, so you get the different angle. Didn't really have an effect on that round, but it's good that the thought process is there. The team play is there to communicate, doing little things like that. They just make a world of difference. But here's a full buy from Optic, and they're getting very aggressive outside, but I think Elige has kind of sorted this out. I think he's understood what's happening here. He's been able to kind of just back off and play behind these smokes, and that means that Liquid were looking to get control of ramp, maybe thinking that this is going to be a vulnerable area since there's so much presence outside. Naf has just rotated back, though, with that M4, so now he can actually contest against us. And even Tarek's rotating through the lower bomb site to help him out.
JDM still trying to find the angle, and he will. Naf stepping into his death, just to be replaced by Tarek, who's now come all the way from Secret. He's going to see contact. Nitro.
Damn.
The spray goes wide, but Mixwell's shots hit. 3 frags to him. All 3 headshots, one of which through the wall, immediately swinging this back to the favor of Optic as the bombs hit the dirt alongside the corpses. Liquid trying to swing it back themselves, as Elige has been able to creep outside. Now, unfortunately for Liquid, they are disjointed, and now it's just down to 1. Stanislaw, 1v3. The smoke fades. Mixwell revealed, but Stan a little slow there, and Optic take the round.
I was a little bit concerned there. Tarek really kind of blew that play. But luckily for him, Mixwell just comes through with a quick hat trick and eventually winds up with a quad kill on the round. That's actually big for Mixwell because before that he was 2-7, so he's just now starting to reach neutral ground. And Tarek's obviously not had the best of games here. Liquid, in the meantime, still posing a real threat to Optic. Optic have to fear the money reset right here. That's the big problem now. Having an economy reset now would be just devastating, but Mixwell trying to ensure that won't happen. Does take down the op of Liquid. Gets a quick advantage for his team. Falls back as well into safer grounds. Not getting greedy with that advantage. Just making sure they hold on to it and roll it into the mid-round. You see Liquid trying to get control of outside here with this smoke wall.
The bomb's still lingering over towards lobby, so they could pinch into the A-bomb site, but right now they're just boosting a man up and over to pry over the smoke. Nothing seen here as Mixwell has now changed positions over towards Hell. We've got Tarek down in the depths of the B site as well, just waiting for Liquid to push on in. But it seems as though Jason's going to feel the heat. He spots the leg, Hayes going out. He's the first to fall. Nitro trades it back immediately, and this is Liquid contesting the A-bomb site. It's Mixwell's op from the heavens above that's trying to stop the plant, but he will not succeed in doing so. 4 versus 3 as we come into the retake. Great utility here to force Naf outside of heaven, so he and Mixwell have to wait. Tarek as well tries to take the fight side by side with Rush as both Optic players fall over. Nafly the next to go down. Mixwell tries to contest, but there's just too much to handle, and Liquid find 5.
Yeah, those post-plant Molotovs were just ripping Optic apart. Never gave them really a chance to push from Heaven or Mini to ever get that retake going. It was like it was always splitting the retake up. You knew the pressure might come from Heaven and Mini simultaneously, but you ensured it could only come from one direction when you're putting Molotovs down like that. And so that means that Optic have, in fact, had the nightmare happen. Their money has been reset. They'll force buy up here, where they're basically looking at a force here and a full save next round and a tie game for Liquid, unless they can put these upgraded pistols to use. As once again, Liquid exercising outside control. It's been a staple of their T side so far. And they spot Jason R and do a bit of damage as well.
Oh, Mixwell, Jason, they take 2. Tarek as well. He doubles down. 4 frags to Optic's favor, leaving Hazed in a 1v4. Tarek swaps to the primary, but Hazed has had enough. He's at least going to keep contesting the bomb. The frag, though, so much damage. Nafly at this point, he knows he's here, and despite the fire and the flames, he'll take himself to the duel, the frag, and an 8th round to Optic's favor.
Yeah, that was nasty. That is not how you want to play if you're Liquid. You have Optic up against the ropes. You know that they're forced or they're saving. You know you have them on kind of a double save type of rotation now that you reset their money. That's your chance to tie the game and even maybe win the half. And instead, you've allowed Optic to steal a round away from you, force you into a low buy, and now they can really pull out ahead. So that's a really big round lead for Liquid. Big win for Optic, though, honestly, on the other side.
Liquid trying to get into that fast A play yet once more, but Mixwell able to find the first. Elish toppled over. Nitro, JDM to follow suit as Tarek's headshots are on point. It's Hazed up next, and he's also dealt with as Stanislaus removed from above. All of Optic across the kill feed. Liquid hitting a bit of a wall that round.
Yeah, that time the CT team had the utility to stop that squeaky, push really having a lot of effect. You had the incendiaries coming down. And that forced a lot of damage onto Liquid, really slowed things down. And now they have to force buy this last one as well. So instead of Optic being the one stuck on double forces and being at a disadvantage, it's really Liquid who's been able to find themselves in the losing end of that. And they'll see what they can piece together here in the last round. You do see them setting up some spokes outside, including the bomb carrier Nitro, but he will now drift over towards the lobby to meet up with the rest of his teammates who maybe considering up, or you hear them breaking all the glass outside, and maybe make those flashbangs a little bit more of a surprise of when they're going to fall in, as well as maybe help them set up smokes a little bit better as well. They do have a couple of them in play.
That's the smoke up and over. 3 players on high here from Optic. Jason's going to have to trade the first. He takes the second as well, and he's looking for more as Elish gets blindsided from the outer doors. Stanislaus from the heavens going to fire off versus Nafly, but the M4 comes out on top, and as do Optic. 10-5 the score here at the end of the opening half.
Yeah, very, very good half from Optic, but I think it's deceiving when you look at the scoreboard because this really could have been 8-7 Liquid or maybe 8-7 Optic instead of 10-5. There was a couple of rounds you really feel like Liquid really let slip. So, you know, Optic are certainly grateful they were able to exploit some of those mistakes and get a big lead out of that half. So well played by them. Jason R and Rush, big game so far. Even Mixwell had a slow start, but really started to kind of wake up towards the end. Tarek even woke up a little bit there towards the end, got a couple of big plays towards the latter part of that half. So even the slow starters eventually found their footing there and helped Optic out into a lead.
I
Meanwhile,
mean,
you look over and it was a little bit tougher on Liquid. Again, I felt like, I mean, losing that force buy a couple of rounds ago, that was
yeah.
really big.
I mean, the 11th round is Mixwell's 4K over towards ramp, where Tarek falls first. Obviously, the 12th round, where Liquid are able to swing things back, made them, you know, really poised to put some more rounds on the board.
The rush ace and ramp room
Yep.
as well.
And then the 13th, that was the pistol round where you mentioned it himself. Tarek kind of, you know, gets some more shots on the board. And that's where he shuts things down over towards Secret. So
Yeah.
definitely round 11, 12, 13, a bit of a deciding factor towards the later parts of the momentum.
I mean, it really felt like Liquid was playing the better CS most of that half. Like I said, they had a 5-on-3 they lost. And there was a lot of different issues like that. Again, though, props to Optic for punishing them. I mean,
Yeah.
they played their CS to win those rounds, so it's no takeaway from Optic. But, you know, Liquid certainly will look back at this if they wind up losing and realize that they could have gotten a lot more out of this first half.
Speaking of getting more for less, ibuypower.com/IBP-invite. Head on over, enter in the chance to win our global giveaway from across the world. You may enter, and the second half's about to begin. So spend your time wisely. As well, there's links underneath the stream below for you guys to click if you want to express lane that transition.
This pistol will really kind of tell all about this game. Either Optic are going to roll up to a huge lead if they can do this clean, or Liquid will basically put themselves in contention to make the comeback pretty easy. I mean, we know the CT side can still be favored on this map, and if you make it 8-10 before guns come out, I mean, you're right back into it, right? So this is a big round here.
Flashbang up and over to allow that push. Nice little corner smoke as well to try and contest from the heavens. Rush gonna just entry out from Hut. The flank already inbound, and Nitro from behind the vents takes one down. Alish hitting headshots as well till Stan's flank connects. Just Liquid reacting to that push and overwhelming it before it pieces itself together.
Yeah, that flank from Ramford to Stanislaw was so rapid. He almost did a 2-for-1 collateral with the USP when he was speaking through Squeaky Door. Nonetheless, he gets to 2 frags, and Liquid combine for that 6th round. So unless Optic can break them with this force, we definitely are going to see Liquid really close the gap here early on in the second half from their CT side and make up for some of those mistakes in the first half. Curious what Optic's looking to do here. Again, just a lot of pistols. Tech 9s to be exact. Looks like they want to maybe just rush outside on these rafters. They have the smoke on the corner.
Tarek the first to fall. Nitro from top of Hut hits the headshot as well, but Mixwell's finally going to get something rolling here for Optic. Hazed up close, drops to half, but JDM, again, the rotations just connecting here for Liquid. So we see Optic with a couple of kills, both in the pistol and the first conversion, but it's closing out the distance to the bomb site and actually punching in the numbers that they've seemed to stop.
So Liquid kind of get past that first challenge of the force buy. They'll be rewarded with an Optic that has basically nothing to work with, so Liquid really should be fine that 8th round in a situation where they're up against, you know, 4 Glocks and a P250.
JDM's going to stop that outer control. Nitro, the one-tap dirt nap. Jason dropped out of the equation. Nafly and Mixwell, the last 2 standing, both of which towards lobby. And now we just see Liquid trying to barrel forward. But Mixwell's able to at least grab 1, and Optic could still deal damage until Hayes decides to surprise them again with these flanks through lobby. A nice little conversion point here for Liquid, only losing 1 and picking up the M4 regardless.
So here comes the first full buy from Optic. It'll be AKs across the board. No op for Mixwell, but again, That's why he's so valuable. Very effective with AKs in his hands, also as an entry-type fragger. Meanwhile, we do still see a couple of umps being put into play from Liquid, just kind of being conservative, wanting to keep the FAMAS and umps in play as long as they can, get another round out of them before they have to buy again or trade them for AKs for free, whichever. Definitely can help them build up that bank account, which you really want on CT side, so you have the utility to counter upper pushes and things like that.
Like Liquid are getting very up close and personal. Hayes decides to pull the trigger, but Nafly takes two. Nitro able to swing it back, however, to the favor of Liquid, at least inside of the lobby. It's still Optic with an advantage until Mixwell gets quelled. JDM, Nitro, Tarek, Rush, the last four standing. Optic with some outer control, but a little bit disjointed in their pushes here. Rush is towards the heavens, while Tarek's creeping in through Secret.
Yeah, Nitro just saved Liquid big time with that hat trick. I know Optic are very disappointed that they just coughed that advantage up. As now it becomes a little bit of a tricky 2-on-2 here. Nitro watching for Heaven. Rush was thinking about it, but now he's kind of trailing around towards the lower bomb site. Tarek bringing that bomb into the back halls, in fact. The focus really is on upper here from Liquid, so they're probably going to concede the bomb plant. And with JDM having an op, that's a tough retake weapon. They do have a lot of nades, though, for the retake, and they both have kits, so that gives them a little bit more time. Let's see how this fizzles out.
Nitro's going to change directions. He's going to head on over towards ramp. Now, this is where Rush is positioned, and he's close enough to hear the cues. Nitro making a bunch of noise at this point, and Rush is going to execute him for it. The first to fall. JDM's next up in line, tries to use his pistol, but that won't be enough.
Yeah, and that's why
Rush grabs the op.
Why not pick up a gun? I mean, a rifle or something. I mean, I don't know. Again, that's where the shortcomings from JDM can really come out, where he'd rather use a P250 than pick up, you know, an AK or an M4 and have a better chance at retaking there. I don't know if it would have mattered. I mean, maybe he would have had a better chance at winning that one-on-one, but he still has to win another one-on-one. So you never really know how that would have played out. But yeah, it's a little bit tough. He almost got the job done. I mean, he did a lot of damage there. But in the end, it is another win here for Optic. And what was a pretty tense round. It was kind of a roller coaster ride. It started out well for Optic. Then it went real south real quick when Nitro got the 3 kills, but they still managed to close it. And so it will be 11-8.
Optic very patient at this point. I mean, Mixwell's got that AWP, all thanks to JDM, and Tarek's just going to tap away at the legs of the Opper here. Liquid going man down early, and Elige revealing himself as well. So Optic know there's 2 players towards the outer yard. Liquid going to start to shuffle.
Yeah, 5-on-4 here quickly for Optic as they're still just kind of gathering up here in the lobby. No commitments just yet. Trying to exercise their advantage. See if anyone from Liquid's going to try to make a play. Try to push, try to even the odds. We know we have seen some aggression at times at Hut and Ramp Room from this Liquid team. As Tarek and company slowly working control of outside. Elige holding an angle here, hoping that someone will walk into his crosshairs at Secret. Meanwhile, Map trying to clear some angles at the upper bomb site. They're just trying to do some information gathering here.
He's going to come out wide, though. Finds Nitro, first to fall towards A. Hayes, though, lines them up, knocks them down. 3 frags for him, and a new mag in the clip. But Mixwell, he's had enough. The P250 prevails, and it's the Stanislav flank yet once more. He's got the M4 in hand. Tarek, missing the headshot, drops him down to 15 points of health, but there's only 15 seconds on the clock. So Mixwell's going to have to find the plant and stand up close and personal. Will take the clutch. Both frags, an op to save, and a defuse to boot. Team Liquid relying on that flank to come up big, and it does connect to bring us in to the 11-9 scoreline.
Finally, Liquid catching a lucky break, isn't it? Stanislav just barely makes the timing on that incendiary Molotov. Not sure which it was. Doesn't matter. It's fire. He somehow got past it, even with low HP. And of course, Mixwell could have no idea that he got through that, right? I mean, that's just one of those unfortunate timings that basically win Liquid a one-on-one. So very fortunate stuff. And that means Optic are onto just pistols. And so Liquid still do have the chance to close the gap here. And this has just been such a crazy game on Nuke. Normally not a big fan of Nuke, to be honest. It's really hard to follow. But this has been an exciting game.
Nitro and Elige going to assert that weapon dominance first and foremost. Mixwell with the Deagle going to swing things back by 1, but he too down to 9 points of health. So Optic hurting already here as we're at a minute and a half. JDM's over towards ramp, and we do have the creep coming in from Optic. Just 2 players rounding the catwalks. They will be finding Heaven for free, but Liquid seem to have given this up. Mixwell's the next to fall. Hayes, though, blindsided from behind. The bomb, unfortunately for Optic, not in their possession, but at least now they have an M4. The Liege over towards the vent. Gonna hear this. At least waiting, expecting it. The smoke goes down, as do the players. Elige, double headshot, easy peasy. And both teams now on double digits.
Liquid a round away from tying this up. They've come close to meeting at the same score several times this game, but it's never quite happened. But now Liquid have the chance. Optic, though, will be able to contest it pretty well. AKs across the board, decent utility. They should really be able to work at whatever it is they choose.
Now, last time JDM was out here, Tarek took him out before the op could have any impact, but it looks as though Liquid are going to go for the boost over the silo.
Haven't seen this yet.
Interesting play. And while Optic are using their smokes as well, so Elige is going to have one hell of an opportunity. He's lost a teammate, but Elige now reveals himself. Finds 2 frags as Optic do the exact same. It's a man advantage for Liquid's favor. Nafly still inside of the lobby. The bomb now retrieved as well. And Jason, you can see, with his attention trained towards the top. Elige reveals himself, but wins the duel as well. Nafly trading yet once more. Optic still in this round with a minute on the clock and the bomb in their possession, but outnumbered 2-1.
Elige really got a lot out of that, more than he probably should have. It was really crazy timing because Jason R was actually watching it for a second, but then just happened to go to lobby as soon as Elige decides to push out and get the frags. So again, another one of those unfortunate timings. And Naf now stuck in a testy 1v2.
He's on top of Hut, though. Not quite sure where he headed. He could have gone down the ladder, but Nafly turns his back, and Hayes just hits the timing. The shot as well. 11-all here as Nuke turned into a bit of a barn burner.
Indeed, we're tied up now, and Liquid, though, might be able to finally take a lead. That's now finally an option. They haven't had a lead this whole game. And it hasn't been tied up since it was 1-1 long ago.
Bare bones minimum purchase here for Optic. Just going to have the pistols, so they're just barreling forward into the A site. Liquid from above. Hayes takes 3. Easy lineup. Nitro as well with the sidearm, finding 1 frag. So it's just Mixwell in a matter of seconds. All down to just himself and him. Mixwell inside the vents. Going to get fragged to death. JDM not even going to risk the death. So Team Liquid converting the point with absolute minimal losses.
So there it is, Liquid. They finally take the lead. Can they maintain it? Because Optic are going to be very quickly able to challenge appropriately. They're going to have everything they could want. Even Mixwell has an op in this round. Something he hasn't really had on this T side yet. And we know that he can be very assertive with it and find those openings. He's going to be taking it outside. JDM will have his op. He will be taking it to the ramp room. So they won't meet head to head, but each will get a chance to try to see if they can't find an early pick. On the opposite sides of the map here is Nitro, though, not giving Swell a chance, holding a more passive angle here from Mini. And all is kind of quiet for now, but sooner or later, Optic are looking to kind of punch out outside.
Now, last time we saw Optic go for that wall of smokes on the outer yard, they didn't actually try to use that to get down secret. And with Elige being positioned there, of course, he'll be able to read that kind of fake time and time again. If the smokes go down and nobody crosses, then the rest of Liquid can just hold the line elsewhere. Strong spot for exactly that. We do see the deployment of the smoke grenades. Elige throwing one of his own. Ooh, interesting one-way from Elige, but it won't be enough. Mixwell dubs him out. Headshot found. Nafly as well doubles down. Hazed the next to fall. 3 versus 5 here to the favor of Optic.
A big advantage gain here by Optic on that outside control, and they'll be able to continue to push Rush through Heaven while everyone else gets ready to push Lobby into the upper bomb site. So this upper site's going to get pinched in a big way.
Oh, but Rush denied. Stan, Nitro able to find 2, so we're back to the 3v3. 30 seconds on the clock. Mixwell with the op, gonna find one more. Tarek does the same, and it's JDM chasing ghosts at this point. Nobody gonna present themselves as the bomb's now planted. Mixwell with the op, trained in on the angle as well, so as JDM walks into the site, he'll also walk into his death, unless he hits the shot. Mixwell gonna go down. 1 versus 2 here. A tough job ahead of him, but crazier things have happened. Tarek to the back of the plant. Jason inside of lobby. JDM's gonna clear the corners, and he's gonna push in with the pistol. Jason next to the windowsill. JDM goes back to the op, and up close and personal, the AK prevails. Optic will take themselves another round.
The lead is short-lived. It's right back into a tie. Luckily, Liquid have plenty of money to keep a purchase going. They could even reset Optic. So there is still that threat lingering out there. Well played by Optic. I mean, it got a little bit dicey when that Heaven push got caught out, but the main push from lobby was still successful. They were able to stamp out JDM and not allowing him a chance to really make much out of that clutch opportunity. Plenty of utility from Liquid here to throw down these incendiaries to prevent any type of quick play from Optic. But Optic have been fine with playing the slower outside play initially, but look at Elise. He's going to change things up. He's going to get aggressive here on red. Might catch someone out. Remember, last time they played aggressive, they counter boosted and made a big play with the Liege. Maybe he'll do it again.
Nitro from the blue boxes to find the first. The headshot connects. The Liege swings wide. His position revealed, but as he's fully flashed, he is still standing. Tarek takes the trade. And Optic back to the 4-on-4.
Yeah, Liege is not connecting the shots there with the chance just a little bit. Nitro did get 1 kill, though, beforehand, so that does at least keep it even 4-on-4. And Mixwell has taken some damage here. Same with Jason R, not so much though. And now Naf is going to tilt the balance in Optic's favor. Jason R getting in position in mini, so upper is going to get split. Hayes the last line of defense here.
Oh, but Mixwell caught scoped in. Nitro still playing outer yard. The thorn in the side of this offensive Optic. But he has now been dealt with. Tarek topples him over. Back to the 2-on-2. It is trade after trade dust. 30 seconds left to play. JDM's already in a position to try and stop this push. The first man rounds the corner. Down he goes. JDM looking to re-engage here. Jason looks for the headshot, but instead he finds a shot to the chest. And Liquid now take the lead back yet once more.
Again, they've reset Optic's economy twice now this half. So this has been very beneficial for Liquid. Optic only getting these rounds here and there, and the money is low. They will take a save, and this is where Liquid can finally take a 2-round lead, something they've never had this game. So they're starting here where it matters most to get in position to perhaps take this one. This, in fact, was their mat pick, and we know it's mat Optic doesn't really play. They really needed to get this one. They've kind of let it slip a few times, but now here it seems like they're finally getting it together. Optic have played a great nuke thus far to really capitalize on mistakes from Liquid, but now here in the home stretch, they're starting to fall a bit flat.
Alicia's Molotov's going to force the players forward, but he's already down to half mag. Alicia toppled over after taking 1. Stan, however, managed to bring it back by 3. Great swap to the USP. Tarek, meanwhile, creeping forward, finds the head of Nitro, the M4 to boot, but as he tries to close the distance, Stan going to chip away at his health, but Tarek's still able to win that duel. He will find the bomb plant as the minute marks hit. Tarek going to reposition towards decontamination. Still has the M4. 20 points of health to work with. JDM, the op, trained to the back of sight, trying to figure out where he's gone, but Hazed catches a sliver of Tarek's back as he rotates over towards the control. Tarek could have also seen this. And the smoke goes down on the site itself. JDM's gonna open the door, but nearly gets blindsided. Luckily, he will be able to swing back and take the frag off the sidearm. Liquid avoiding what would have been a heartbreaking loss. 14-12 now the score.
Yeah, Hayes being able to get that peek onto Tarek, shifting through back calls, at least allowed Liquid to kind of anticipate where most likely he'd be coming from. So JDM able to kind of be wary of that door and respond appropriately with the P250. And so it's 14-12. Liquid 1 round away from map point, but Optic back onto a full buy. So here's where they can pose a real threat to Liquid, putting this map away. It's this round. If they lose it next round, they will have very little to work with. So this is really their best chance now to get back into this map. hold Liquid off from taking the 1-0 start in this series. Right now, again, pretty slow play. Rush and Tarek putting some pressure outside. Naf playing towards ramp. Playing default for the most part. Wow.
JDM again caught scoped in. Hayes wide from Avo, nearly lines more up, but only takes one in the engagement. Jason finding two. It's Elige to find something here for Liquid, but as he goes into the A site, he'll take yet another. Jason R hits the dirt, and the bomb does too. Nafly from Squeaky, though, hits the headshot through the lip of the door, and it leaves it just down to Stan. Now, in the 20th round, we saw him clutch a 1v2 that hard reset Optic. Again here in the 27th, he'll get the opportunity to prove his worth. Revenge towards his old teammates. Rush from down below. Stan creeps forward, and his head ripped clean from his shoulders. Optic still fighting as they find number 13.
And it's just Jason R leading by example, coming out first and getting 2 kills and opening up that upper bomb site for Optic. Again, really doing great, kind of being that support entry, just that sacrificial guy to set other people up, set someone up like Rush to close out the round. So really well played. So just crazy how JDM got caught there. I don't even think he could see Tarek. I think it was kind of one of those like left eye angles where Tarek could see him, but he couldn't see JDM or what have you. You get what I'm saying there. So a little bit unfortunate. He kind of got blindsided there. And now Optic a great chance to tie the game up at 14-all, given Liquid are just with a couple of P250s in play. Optic take outside very rapidly. It's an upper push from Liquid into lobby here. Getting the early intel, no one's there. But I mean, they have nothing to really fight with. JDM will get lower before the bomb ever gets even where nearby. But again, can they really land the frags with these lower pistols?
We saw Liquid play these anti-ecos very methodically, and Optic are doing the exact same thing, mirroring that caution. Rush coming in from heaven. Players down below him, though. That's Stanislaw. Hayes and Elige going to rotate over towards ramp. And Nitro as well is just tucked away into the corner. So still 4 CTs nearby. If Jason Art does walk in, he could get overwhelmed. And a single gun in the hands of Liquid could certainly deal more damage. Jason takes one, but he's the bomb carrier. That's a crucial frag, but Rush comes on in, and he'll find 2 kills off of the AK. Nitro now the last man standing as he dances back and forth behind the boxes. Heat 2 toppled. Optic tie things up at 14-all.
So with that, Optic have locked in. They're going to be able to buy the rest of regulation. So that's not going to be an issue for them this round or the next. So that's good. Liquid in the meantime, though, this is it right here. If they lose this, they have no money in the next round. And Optic probably has the clear advantage to actually 16-14 in the game. So a lot riding on this round. We could still see overtime. That's still an option as well. I haven't had one yet this tournament, I don't think.
Almost had one. Optic and Misfits yesterday.
Close.
But no cigar. JDM creeping forward, trying to clear these corners. The barrel gives him away, and Nafly execute him with the headshot. Done and dusted. First frag found. Optic 5v4. And they transition over towards ramp with their eyes set towards the B site. Mixwell sets his sight onto the head of Stanislaw. Nitro from the vents, though, and Liege elsewhere able to take this back. So a 3-on-3 ensues. And we're not done here just yet. Tarek takes yet another into the favor of Optic once more. Hayes towards A. Elige going down towards the B side as now the bomb is planted.
No kits here for Liquid. I don't know if there's one fallen somewhere that Elige and Hayes can pick up. So that means it's going to be difficult. And you also have to think to yourselves, next round you basically have no money. Do you want to save and play for OT with these 2 M4s? Give yourself some more firepower in the next round. That's definitely a realistic option here. And maybe the best bet. And that's exactly what's going to happen. They're both going to retreat. Optic will get map point, and Liquid will just have to try to put these M4s in armor to use next round, buy up what they can on everyone else, and see if they can't make a play for OT.
3 consecutive rounds for Optic now. The moment Liquid hit 14, Optic get them on the board. I mean, we see those hard resets in both the 20th and the 25th round, and over towards the end of this one, Hayes is going to die. So one of those M4s has been lost dust, and that is exactly what they needed to avoid. Only one weapon grandfathered forward, and a brutal economy to try and buy in here.
Yeah, it's just going to be the umps here for Nitro, Stanislaw, and JDM. Hayes just on that 5-7. Only that 1 and 4 got carried over. It's going to be on Elige. He's made some plays outside at times when he's tried to be aggressive. We'll see if that can keep up. Mixwell looking for the pick here through the explosive key door. Not going to happen. Elise not going to quite give him the angle. Optic again just taking it pretty slow to start with. Gonna do that smoke wall outside again, perhaps. Rush gonna be peeking up top there, clearing it, and yeah, he will do the outside smoke wall.
Molotov towards Secret to try and push back any kind of a peek, but nobody's in that position. Elige very passively to the back of the garage. And Optic starting to creep towards ramp now.
Stanislaus gonna get tested with this ump. Definitely a smart solo player. So he wisely just backs off, feeling the pressure, wanting to just make sure he controls lower. But look at Optic. They're going to give chase. They're not slowing down at all. They want to charge through. They're going to get the smoke on the vents. They're going to look to get down here and make a play. Stanislaus just trying to buy time, stay alive. There is also a rotate coming in soon. He's at the window. What can he do? Can he stop this? No, he gets blindsided by Tarek in the back. Now it's a 5-on-4 post plant for Optic.
Rush behind the boxes. Tarek's over towards the Secret as well. That's where he finds Elige. So now a two-man advantage for Optic. Everything going their way. JDM still sectioned off as Nitro pressures the site itself. It's going to be up to him and Hayes, but he too popped as Tarek takes the headshot. 3 frags for Tarek here in the 30th round, and it's all just on to Hayes, the sidearm in hand, but no way in hell. Optic Gaming have managed to close this out. I mean, backs against the